Alex Rider had always been fascinated by the stars. Even as a child, he would spend hours staring at the night sky, imagining the worlds that might exist beyond the tiny specks of light. Now, standing at the edge of the landing platform on Zithera, he felt the same thrill, though this time it was mixed with a tinge of fear. He had been chosen to lead the human delegation to the alien capital, a mission that could change humanity's place in the galaxy. But nothing in his training could prepare him for what he was about to face. The shuttle's doors opened with a hiss, revealing the alien landscape in full. Zithera was unlike anything Alex had ever seen. The sky shimmered with multiple moons and glowing clouds that danced like ribbons in the wind. Towering structures floated effortlessly above the ground, connected by bridges of pure light. Plants with translucent leaves swayed even without any breeze, and streams of sparkling water ran in patterns that seemed almost deliberate. He stepped forward cautiously, his eyes wide as he tried to take in the sheer beauty and strangeness of the place. A group of alien guides approached, their movements graceful, almost gliding as if walking on air. They were tall and elegant, their skin shimmering like polished metal. Their faces were calm and unreadable, with eyes that seemed to see far beyond the present moment. Alex felt a chill of uncertainty. He knew that alien diplomacy was delicate and one wrong move could end everything before it began. "Welcome, humans," one of the aliens said in a melodic voice that somehow translated perfectly into Alex's mind. "I am Kirill, advisor to Queen Alara. Follow me and we shall proceed to the throne hall." Alex nodded and fell into line with his team. They walked across a bridge of light that stretched over a vast chasm, filled with floating platforms and streams of glowing energy. Every step made Alex more aware of how small and fragile humans might seem in a world like this. Yet there was something about the atmosphere that made him feel alive, alert, and oddly confident. When they reached the throne hall, Alex could hardly believe his eyes. The hall was enormous, with ceilings that stretched beyond sight. Pillars of crystal rose from the floor, reflecting light in every color imaginable. In the center, on a raised dais, stood Queen Alara. Her presence was immediate and overwhelming. She was taller than any human, her skin radiant and iridescent, her eyes deep pools that seemed to contain entire galaxies. The moment Alex stepped forward, the hall grew silent. Then something completely unexpected happened. Queen Alara began to kneel. Slowly, deliberately, she lowered herself until her knees touched the ground, her head bowed. Alex froze. His mouth went dry. The other humans around him shifted uncomfortably, unsure of how to react. Was this some strange cultural ritual? A trap or something else entirely? Kirill and the other alien advisors looked tense, but none of them moved to stop their queen. It was as if they were waiting for Alex to act. The silence stretched, heavy and strange. Finally, Alex found his voice. Your Majesty?" he said cautiously. "Are you okay?" There was no verbal reply. Instead, Alex suddenly felt a presence in his mind, a wave of thoughts and emotions that were not his own. He realized with a mixture of awe and fear that the Queen was communicating directly into his mind. "You are the human I have seen," her voice said, calm and resonant. "I do not fully understand why, but I know your arrival was always meant to be." Alex stumbled backward, nearly dropping the small tablet he carried to record observations. He had expected alien technology, strange rituals, and even potential threats. But telepathic communication was something entirely new. I don't understand," he said aloud, though he knew she would hear him clearly. "You will understand in time," Queen Alara replied. "For now, know that you are here because your presence will shape the future of Zithera." The rest of the human delegation whispered nervously among themselves. Alex could see fear in their eyes, but also a flicker of curiosity. They had come seeking diplomacy, yet it seemed they had stumbled into something far more profound. Kirill stepped forward cautiously. "Your Majesty, the humans—" "I am aware," Queen Alara interrupted, her thoughts echoing clearly in Alex's mind. "They are here, but he is different. I kneel to him not in submission but in recognition of what is to come." Alex's mind raced. Recognition? What could a human possibly do that would merit such an act from a queen of a species far older and more advanced than humanity? He glanced at his team, then back at the queen, unsure if he should kneel in return, bow, or simply remain standing. Before he could decide, the doors of the throne hall opened again, and a group of alien warriors entered. They were heavily armored, carrying weapons that hummed with energy. Alex's instincts kicked in. He stepped forward, subtly positioning himself between the humans and any potential threat. The warriors bowed slightly but did not kneel, acknowledging the Queen's authority. Queen Alara rose from her knees, her movements fluid and commanding. "We must show them," she said, her voice echoing in Alex's mind, "why you are here." With a gesture, she led the humans through the hall to a series of chambers that seemed impossible to describe. In one room, towering machines processed energy that Alex could barely comprehend. In another, holographic displays depicted star systems with a precision no human technology had yet achieved. In every room, Alex felt a mix of awe and humility. Humans had explored the stars, yes, but they had never encountered a civilization this advanced. Yet it was not the technology that intrigued Alex most. It was the Queen herself. Despite her power and grace, she moved with a curiosity and caution that mirrored his own. When she explained the workings of her empire's defenses, she watched him closely, almost as if trying to gauge his reactions. Alex realized that her kneeling had been more than a ritual. It was a signal of trust, a recognition of something she saw in him that was rare in her people. As the humans continued their tour, subtle threats became evident. Alien diplomats from neighboring systems observed Alex closely, some with suspicion, others with outright hostility. Whispers filled the air, words Alex could not hear but could feel in the tension of the room. Someone did not want him here, someone who saw his presence as a challenge to their power. That evening, as Alex and his team were escorted to their quarters, alarms suddenly blared across the palace. Red lights bathed the hallways. An attack was underway. Alex's training took over instantly. He directed his team to safety, all the while scanning for potential threats. Explosions rocked the palace and the alien warriors moved to intercept the intruders. Alex did not hesitate. He ran forward into the fray, using his instincts to protect both his team and the Queen. He dodged energy blasts, helped injured diplomats, and coordinated movements in ways that even the seasoned aliens found impressive. Queen Alara followed closely, directing reinforcements with calm precision. In a critical moment, an alien assailant aimed a weapon at the Queen. Without thinking, Alex lunged, intercepting the attack and knocking the assailant off balance. The Queen's eyes widened, not in fear but in realization. He was human, yes, but his courage and quick thinking had saved her life. The attackers were eventually driven back, but the impact of the event lingered. The palace was damaged, and the humans had seen firsthand that the stakes were higher than they had imagined. Alex stood panting and bloodied as Queen Alara approached. She looked at him with an intensity that made his heart race. "You have done more than survive this day," she said, her voice calm but full of weight. "You have proven that humans possess something rare, something I have not seen in centuries. Courage, adaptability, unpredictability, traits that may save my empire when others cannot." Alex swallowed hard, trying to make sense of it all. I just did what I had to do," he said. "I didn't know it would mean this much." The Queen knelt again, this time in a gesture that felt less ritualistic and more personal. Alex realized that her kneeling was no longer just a symbol. It was an acknowledgement of destiny. She trusted him. She saw something in him that transcended species, culture, and technology. As night fell over Zithera, Alex sat in his quarters, staring at the sky through the crystalline windows. He could still feel the Queen's thoughts, a quiet resonance that suggested both expectation and hope. He did not understand everything that was happening, but one thing was clear. His presence here was not accidental. Humans had a role to play on Zithera, and he was at the center of it. Even as he drifted to sleep, images of glowing cities, advanced machines, and the kneeling Queen filled his mind. For the first time in his life, Alex Rider felt the weight of destiny, and the immense responsibility of being a human in a galaxy that had never seen his kind rise to this level of influence. And deep inside, he knew this was only the beginning. The sun rose over Zithera in colors Alex Rider had no words for. The sky glimmered like molten metal, and the floating towers reflected light in dazzling patterns. Yet the beauty of the morning did little to ease the tension that still lingered in the palace. Yesterday's attack had shaken everyone, and even the alien courtiers whispered nervously in corners. Alex could feel their eyes on him as he walked through the halls with Queen Alara. The Queen did not speak aloud. Her thoughts reached him directly, calm but commanding. "You have proven yourself," she said. "Yet there is more to understand. Our enemies do not rest, and neither can we." Alex nodded. He was beginning to grasp that the Queen's kneeling had been more than respect or ritual. It had been recognition of potential. She believed he could influence outcomes in ways her people could not. Humans, she seemed to think, were unpredictable in ways that could tip the balance of galactic events. The day began with briefings. Queen Alara introduced Alex to her council of advisors, leaders of various alien factions, each with their own motives, each watching him closely. Alex noticed subtle glances, whispers that carried tension. Some of the council members had opposed his presence from the start, viewing humans as insignificant or dangerous. Now after the attack, they were cautious, unsure whether his courage had been luck or skill. The Queen gestured toward a large holographic display showing nearby star systems. "These systems are at risk," she said, her voice calm but urgent. "Our enemies seek to exploit chaos. You, Alex, may offer insight into strategies that we cannot see." Alex studied the map. His military training kicked in. Unlike the aliens who relied heavily on predictions and simulations, he instinctively considered human unpredictability, movements, decisions, and strategies that were not bound by centuries of tradition. He proposed maneuvers the Council had not anticipated, combining Zithara's advanced technology with human improvisation. One of the alien advisors, a tall figure with silver-blue skin, raised an eyebrow. "You suggest this human strategy could counter centuries of planning?" Queen Alara's gaze was steady. "I trust him," she said simply. "He sees possibilities where we see rules." The council murmured, some skeptical, others intrigued. Alex felt a surge of confidence. Humans were often underestimated, even by the most advanced civilizations. Yet here, in a palace where technology could bend light and manipulate energy, his instinct, adaptability, and boldness made a difference. Over the next several days, Alex worked closely with Queen Alara and her council. He learned the political landscape of Zithara, discovering rival factions that aimed to overthrow the Queen and claim her empire's power for themselves. These factions had access to weapons, spies, and covert networks that humans could barely imagine. Yet Alex's presence began to shift the balance. He found ways to anticipate attacks, to plan defenses that were unconventional but effective. One evening, while reviewing security measures with the Queen, Alex asked the question that had been gnawing at him. "Why did you kneel for me?" Queen Alara's eyes held a rare softness. "In my culture, kneeling is not submission," she said. "It is a gesture of recognition. I have seen through visions. Your presence, your courage, your unpredictability will change the outcome of events in ways none of us can yet understand. You are human, yet you possess qualities that even the wisest among us do not." Alex felt a mixture of pride and confusion. He had always thought of humans as small and fragile, yet the Queen seemed to see them differently. Not as weak, but as potential catalysts for change. The palace remained tense. Intelligence soon revealed that the faction behind the previous attack had regrouped and planned a larger assault, one that could destabilize the entire system. Queen Alara turned to Alex, her thoughts reaching him with urgency. "They underestimate you, human. They do not know that a single individual can change the course of destiny." Alex and the Queen devised a bold plan. Instead of waiting for the enemies to strike, they would take the initiative. Using a combination of human ingenuity and Zitharan technology, Alex proposed a series of maneuvers to expose the faction's weaknesses. He suggested traps, diversions, and feints, strategies the aliens had not considered, relying on creativity and the element of surprise rather than pure firepower. The Queen followed his lead. Together, they coordinated a response that utilized advanced energy shields, holographic decoys, and agile strike teams. When the attack came, Alex was at the forefront. He moved with precision, directing both humans and aliens, making split-second decisions that saved lives and neutralized threats. At a critical moment, a squad of enemy combatants aimed a devastating energy weapon at the Queen. Alex reacted instantly. Without hesitation, he intercepted the attackers, using his body as a shield and directing his team to flank the assailants. The Queen watched, her expression unreadable, yet her thoughts were clear. He was proving himself exactly as she had foreseen. The battle ended with the enemies retreating, their plans foiled. Zithra's citizens and courtiers celebrated, but Alex knew that it was more than victory in battle. It was a demonstration that human courage and ingenuity could influence outcomes even in a civilization far beyond Earth's capabilities. In the aftermath, Queen Alara formally acknowledged Alex's role. The council gathered in the throne hall once more. The queen knelt before him again, this time publicly, in a gesture that stunned the assembly. Alien dignitaries whispered in astonishment. Kneeling before a human had never been seen before, not in recorded history, and yet here it was, a statement of trust, honor, and destiny. "You are human," the queen said, her voice resonating through Alex's mind and across the hall. "And yet, in your presence I have seen hope, courage, and wisdom beyond what even my most trusted advisors could offer. You have changed the course of my empire. You have shown us what humans can be." Alex swallowed, unsure how to respond. Words seemed insufficient. I just tried to help," he said. Queen Alara's thoughts were calm but unwavering. "Helping is not enough. You have acted with insight, bravery, and vision. That is rare among any species." The council nodded, some with newfound respect, others in cautious acceptance. Alex realized that humans had been underestimated for centuries. Here on Zithra, he was living proof that courage, adaptability, and instinct could stand against even the most advanced civilizations. Over the following days, Alex and the Queen continued to work closely, strengthening alliances and building defenses. Humans were not merely visitors, they were partners. Alex's strategies began to influence the way the council thought, blending human intuition with Zithran logic. In time, he became more than a diplomat or military advisor. He became a symbol of what humans could achieve when trusted and empowered. In quiet moments, the Queen confided in him, explaining her visions and fears. She had seen the potential for a galactic war that could consume countless worlds. And in those visions, it was humans like Alex, who could tip the balance toward survival rather than destruction. Alex listened, learning, questioning, and growing. He realized that his journey had not only been about survival or diplomacy, it had been about proving that humans were capable of greatness, even in a universe that seemed to dwarf them at every turn. The story's climax approached when intelligence reported a final attempt by the rival faction to seize control of Zithra. This time the threat was greater, with advanced ships and powerful energy weapons. Alex and the Queen prepared a counterattack that relied on precise timing, bold tactics, and human unpredictability. When the battle began, Alex coordinated the defense with unmatched skill. He anticipated enemy movements, directed troops, and adapted to unexpected developments. The Queen, watching him, realized that humans could do what her people could not, think beyond centuries of patterns and rules. By the end of the battle, the faction was defeated, their plans dismantled, and Zithra secured. The citizens celebrated, the council praised Alex, and the Queen's kneeling once again became a profound symbol. This time it was not just recognition of potential, it was gratitude, respect, and acknowledgement that humans had earned a place in her empire's history. In the quiet aftermath, Queen Alara spoke to Alex privately. "I knelt for you not because of fear or weakness, but because I saw the future through your eyes. Humans are unpredictable, yes, but that unpredictability is strength. You have proven that a single human can change the fate of a civilization." Alex smiled, understanding at last. "I never thought humans could mean so much to someone so far beyond our world." She touched his hand, a gesture of connection, and said, "It is not your world alone, but your courage and spirit that make you extraordinary. That is what humans bring to the galaxy." As the sun set over the floating towers of Zithra, Alex Rider felt a profound sense of purpose. He had come as a visitor, a diplomat, and a soldier, but he left as something more, a symbol of human potential, proof that courage, intelligence, and instinct could inspire even the most advanced civilizations. He looked up at the glowing sky, thinking of Earth, his home, and the journey ahead. Humanity had always reached for the stars, but now on Zithra, he had seen what humans could truly achieve when trusted, empowered, and believed in. The Queen watched him silently, kneeling not out of obligation, but out of trust and recognition of destiny. In that moment, Alex understood the true me.